What's up, LEGO builders? Welcome back to Coconut Brick Studios for another week of building Cato Neimoidia. You're probably wondering, is this the last week? Are we going to be done this week? Honestly, I don't know. At this point, I'm just waiting to see how far my trans clear pieces are going to get me, because that's really all that I need to do is like finish up some final details on the city and then put down those trans clear studs. So I have more coming in the mail. I'm probably not going to have enough with what I have right now. So that's mostly what it's dependent on. So we'll see by the end of this week where I'm at. And by then I should be able to gauge like what I'll be doing, if there will be another episode or not. All that being said, I have something really cool planned for this week. I don't want to say what it is. I don't want to spoil the surprise, but it has to do with the city, and it's something that I haven't talked about yet and haven't shown yet. So it'll be a nice little surprise for you all. All that being said, if you're excited to see what that surprise is, don't forget to execute Order 66 on that subscribe button. And while you're down there, if you haven't already, consider subscribing so you don't miss out on the finale, which should hopefully be coming out very soon. All that being said, it's time for me to get built. I'm going to start out this week by doing something I've been wanting to do for a while, and that is destroying the city. That might sound kind of weird considering I've spent these past, 8 months, 6 months or whatever building the city and working on the structures that are going to hold the city. But the siege of Cato Neimoidia, went on for a long time, months and months. And so, by the time you get to an end of a siege like that, whatever it is you're defending, whether it be a castle or city, is going to be pretty destroyed and pretty damaged. And I want to reflect that on Cato Neimoidia. So what I'm going to be doing is actually taking apart sections of the MOC, just little bits and pieces, nothing too major, just because there isn't any kind of heavy artillery up there or cannon or tanks and stuff like that. But there's still rocket propelled grenades, thermal detonators, small arms fire that'll do damage to the city. So I'm going to be breaking different sections, taking different sections apart, and it won't be just me smashing something and leaving it there. It's going to be kind of artistic. I want it to look good still, even though it's broken. I'll be focusing a lot on the buildings and kind of that main median area where the plants are, just because I feel like those are great. Those are places that are pretty big and cover up a lot of surface area on the city, so I feel like those will probably take the most damage. Well, here it is, hopefully the last week of building Cato Neimoidia in LEGO. As you guys saw from the time lapse, now that the rockwork, city, and cloud work is mostly done or figured out, I've started going back into the city and actually taking apart sections. I've kind of broken this corner of this little garden area, and I've got dirt and rubble spilling out from the side. And then over here on this side, we've got this little yard, this patio. The corner's been busted in, the railings got pulled off, and then I'm going to have some clone troopers or droids hiding behind this makeshift barricade made out of the seat and table. On the other side, back where this bank is, I had one of the pillars busted off, and you can see there's pearl gold bits kind of represent rubble, and then one of the flowers got broken off. I might take off some more of those, maybe break another pillar. And then here's another section of the garden that's been broken with more dirt and plants spilling out. I want to do this in at least a couple more places, just because these are in the middle of the city, so I feel like they're going to hit the most damage. I'm going to have more damage on this end than this end, because I'm going to have the clone troopers here, and I want it to look like they're slowly pushing the separatist forces back this way. So I might have, I would like to do something to the statues, but this area is going to be in much better condition than over here. But out of everything I've done so far, I think my favorite thing that I've done to the city for damage is this right here. So I broke off one of these pipes. You can see there's part of it back there, and I have water gushing out. I like to, I wanted these to represent some kind of like industrial pump or fan that's just piping stuff through the city, and I figured what better way to show that than have water spilling out. So you can see there's the pillar going down, and then I've got water just building up on the surface of the road right here. You can tell it happened recently because the puddle's not very big. I might add to it a little bit and make it even bigger, but I'm just so happy with how that looks and just adds so much to the current state of the city. I would like to do it over here too, probably in a smaller scale with just like one of these pipes being cracked and then like a trickle coming down off the top and then pooling on the floor. I think that's pretty much everything for the city. I'm still waiting on these wedge plates to come in so I can finish that. I did get a bunch more cloud work done. This whole section's been finished. I still need to do all this over here. Me and my brother put down a bunch of light bluish gray plate, and I did that to cover up these dark bluish gray sections even with the trans clear studs, it was pretty jarring to see like this giant strip of dark gray, and I didn't really like it. I didn't really feel like I had a good way that I can explain what that was. And so I decided to mostly cover it up. And I'm really happy with how it looks. You can see I had my brother leave some sections open so you can see the dark bluish gray, and I just wanted this to maybe help give this cloud section some depth, maybe make it look like there's things down underneath, or the clouds are darker or lighter in some shades. I just felt like this would help mix up the terrain down here and just make it look a little bit different in some areas and not so uniform across the board. So let me know what you think about that idea. I'm pretty excited to get this section finished off so I can see what it really looks like. All right, the last thing I want to show you is a haul. I finally got some parts, and I've been having some issues with my post office and my address, and I had a couple of packages get returned, so it feels like I haven't gotten anything in a while, but I'm so excited to finally get these in. This is 2,200 trans clear cylinders. I'm hoping this will be what I need to finish off the cloud work. I do still have some studs that I'm going to work in with those cylinders. And then on top of that, I also got some other pieces. These actually aren't for Cato Neimoidia. This is a project that I'm working on right now that I haven't revealed yet, except to my Patreon members. I'm really excited to get started on this. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while, and I'm really happy to be able to add one of these to my collection. So stay tuned, or if you want to find out early, go ahead and join the Patreon. I'm finally getting around to finishing the backside wrap. I've just been waiting on wedge plates to finish this, as well as some other plates, and now that I finally got them in, it's time to crank it out, because this is the last part I need to finish up the city. So it'll be nice to have it completely finished. These are kind of tricky to put in just because of the way I connect them to the city. It's those clips connecting to the poles, and sometimes the poles get in the way of hinges and the bottom plate being connected to the top, and the bottom section of the wrap being connected to the top section. So I kind of have to finagle the bricks and move and adjust things. So that's why you'll see me kind of put something on, see if it works, see if it needs to be moved, take it off, readjust, put things back together. It's a very long process, but in the end it should pay off, because I feel like this wrap looks really cool and does a great job of completing the city. Okay, I'm back one last time for the week with big news. The city is officially done. I put on this last wrap in that time lapse that you saw, and I think it looks really good. The patterns on this side match up better than they do on the front, just because I had a little bit more practice and I was paying a little bit more attention to the patterns. It looks really good. Some of the panels don't fit together super well. It's mostly just these end ones, just because of that angle that it's on. You can see it kind of pops out right there. And then over on this side, you can see it pops out right there. I did put in some plates right there to kind of negate and hide that gap a little bit. But I think if you step back and look at it from a distance, it looks all right. Really happy with how this wrap looks. Like I said last time when I showed you guys the other side, it just completes the city. And so now that the city's done, all I need to do is take apart a few more sections, add in some more rubble, and then put the minifigures on. It's crazy to think it's crazy to think I'm so close to being done, but I don't really have anything else to do, so it kind of makes sense. Down here, I have been continuing to grind away at that cloud work. It is taking me ridiculously long to get these done. I've been spending hours on this cloud work, and it kind of feels like I'm making no progress, just because it takes so much time to put down each of these studs that when I sit down and work, I don't get very large sections done at a time, if that makes sense. But if you step back and look at it as a whole, you can see I'm making progress. I've got this little chunk right here in the middle to do, and then this back section right here, and then I'm done. I am running low on parts. This is all the studs I have left, and I don't have any cylinders, but I do have more studs on the way, and I do have some cylinders right here that I can use to put down. I got some more decals in from Thick's Fig Shop. He was kind enough to throw in some freebies. I got some extra wolf pack decals right here, plus this awesome looking Wolfpack officer. Definitely going to decal this guy and put him in the gunship with Plo Koon. I think that's going to look really cool. So just need to finish up decaling those guys, and I should have all the minifigures I need for the mock. While I'm on the subject of minifigures, check out these awesome 91st Recon Troopers I scored from Brick Addict. They look incredible. I'm so excited to use these guys. I actually have a mock planned that's going to come after Cato Neimoidia. It's going to be in between my big mock projects, so it won't be a mock series, it'll just be one mock, but those guys are going to be included in it, and I am super excited. That wraps up this update. It's time to go hit the outro. I hope you guys enjoyed this week of building Cato Neimoidia. I am so close to being done. And I'm so excited because A, I'm excited to see this finished and do the finale and have you guys see the finished product. And B, I have so many other projects that have been kind of on the back burner and new things that I want to do. And I can't really start any of those until I finish Cato Neimoidia and start to get put away. So, I'm not saying I'm moving on from Cato Neimoidia already, but I'm looking forward to future projects that I can start once I get this finished. All that being said, if you like this episode, don't forget to drop me a like and don't forget to comment what you thought about this down below in the comments, and I will catch you all next time. But until then, happy building.